Light punch. Medium punch. Light kick. Heavy punch. Okay. What do? What do? We got a new mail. NieR, today was awesome. Papa made this huge cake that was really great. Everyone in the village should be happy for this one. Feel like a princess and stuff. She's got all the new almost right out of this meeting. We guys come back home now. Good. Nice. Oh, the forest. Oh, I want to check on my weapons. Chicken. Let's ride. Alright, you can farm this place for herbs. There must be a better way. Upgrade, dude. I don't want to keep having to run back here.
Jacob,
how can I help you? Need some work done on your weapon? Come.
I'm not done, dude.
Need some
Let's
work done on
see.
your.
I can't do shit. Oh, I need iron, not titanium. I don't know what weight does, man. What the hell? Whatever. Oh yeah, this one has a massive attack upgrade. Actually has really high attack, but no magic. Scorpion. Well, I need more iron. This thing's so. Oh, what the? Rom's wielder of life force. How fun. What? What? I think I just stick with Beastbane. Does he sell
Come back.
iron?
Need some work done on your weapon?
Sick. It's so expensive.
Come. Need some work done on.
I don't think anything else needs it, yeah. Sick.
Come.
Yeah, the Beastbane seems really good overall. Excuse me, Kaine. Does she just fall down? It's still up there. Ow. Get on the fucking board. Ugh. Oh my god. Nothing else to do, right? Cool. Quest completion 47. Okay.
Beware the words.
What up, Zodiac?
The words? What do you mean?
Contagious words. Those who dream.
Those who dream?
Hold a moment.
What
There's a
the?
strange new sensation in my mind.
Why is his voice rose in a quizzical way?
It is not quizzical.
What's going on?
My text box. What? The villager's body shuddered as he slowly opened his eyes.
Perhaps we should start by asking this man.
Who are you?
We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help.
What the hell?
you can speak to me. I must have caught you in my dream.
In your dream?
The mayor explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream had spread across the forest of myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their dreams. He said, I don't believe the words. Did I not believe this? The village mayor determined the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. Oh my god.
Now see here. Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?
Well, yes. I think you have.
Yes.
In other words, we've caught the Death Dream?
Marvelous. Before the mayor could confirm NieR's suspicion, Vice exploded with rage.
Ridiculous. Preposterous. Completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep.
That's just how the death dream works.
Though polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside the book's remarks.
My remarks are not to be brushed aside, fool.
The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassed grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who NieR had seen, and what they had discussed since coming to the village.
Something there must have caused you to enter my dream. A certain conversation, a specific word,
God.
something.
Death sleep. NieR and Vice racked their brains, but could find no easy solution. There were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, and too many meaningless conversations.
Grimoire Weiss does not engage in meaningless conversations.
Grimoire. The mere suggestion that Vice chose his words carefully seemed to sting his pride.
It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator.
Come on.
It has demolished it utterly.
Irritated, Vice looked skyward as if searching for answers in the heavens.
I was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already.
The anger created by his harsh words bled over to NieR like a contagion. Am I dying? Wait, said NieR suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so. What of it? Who's speaking now? Well, that villager told us to watch out for contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushed a startled Vice aside in the process. We must have something, right? Asked the mayor. Some specific combination of words. What was it? It was about dreaming, or something that dreams, or... Oh, what the hell was it? A sheep! Cried Vice suddenly, blurting out the first thing that popped into his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few mere minutes of thought, NieR's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said. Those who dream. That's what he said, I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pockets. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding his approval at NieR. That sounds right, he said as a straight sheet of paper fluttered to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stopped tracing lines across a lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call the Death Dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along, but I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, a grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Vice immediately backfired. I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dreams, he said. But perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip. I've tried to escape From the very first moment I realized I was locked in my own dream, I've been looking for a way out, but I don't think that is it. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I knew about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village is beautiful, he said to no one in particular, and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. But what this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked out all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want to set us free. And I won't stop trying till it happens. NieR nodded in agreement. Huh? Wait a second, I didn't nod. Look, if we can be of any help, said NieR, just ask. Now hold on, I did not just say that. Silence! Silence! For advice. Whoa. What is going on? The Grimoire looked from NieR to the mayor and back again, his face filling with confidence. Does Vice even have emotions? Or like, on this, does it have like facial expressions? Grimoire Vice's face is always confident, thank you very much. Bless me, thanks. Now see here, Mayor. You told us that nothing can exit in this dream without your knowing of it. But yet you seem surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? The mayor slowly raised his head, realization dawning on his face. Oh my god, he said. You're right. I had no idea you were coming. The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Vice. And dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know how I can repay you. Who's speaking here? Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two, he called at the departing forms of NieR and Vice. We're all counting on you. As NieR slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of deja vu. I saw this man once before, he thought. But where? Oh, I did actually visit this village before. That's the funny part. NieR's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, where the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident they could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. Where's my video game? It's just text. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around him. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Vice was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging NieR to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Vice had muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, NieR snapped. Okay, Vice, cram it for a second, would ya? You don't have to walk. NieR leaned against the tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How could this stupid forest be so big? Muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out at the volume that rattled his teeth. NieR slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard. Vice, what is going on? NieR could see Vice's mouth moving, but he may as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insects screamed, the forest howled. And then, just as NieR's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he removed the hand from his left ear and listened to the Creatures of the woods. 3. Whoa, 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 whoa. As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, NieR began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise. It's something else. The insects weren't just calling out, they were asking a question. 1 with it is lacking. 1 with it is lacking. 2 it is ideal. 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages, is this a riddle? I guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. Then I leave it to you to answer. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? These nuts. How should I know? A seesaw? Something that's ideal with 2 people but dangerous with 3. Oh, it's a seesaw. Vice's mouth flew open, but before he could say anything, the world suddenly shifted. Ween ween wah, ween ween wah, sheek sheeky, sheek sheeky. When NieR came to, he was once again surrounded by the sounds of insects. The cries of the insects were creating words he had heard before. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages. Is this a riddle? I guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. Then I leave it to you to answer. What is like to do the idea? What to do this is what is it? The answer is a seesaw. Something to do with 3 on the seesaw. I was the world suddenly shift. What is it? So it means for the first the answer is god damn it. Ever heard of D's? Question mark, question mark. The answer is secret. Inwardly furious that Vice left the task to him, NieR sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. It's a secret. Right? Suddenly insect stopped as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before NieR like a whipping wave, opening a new path. These forest arthropods are making a road for us, said Vice with glee. Pleased at passing the test, NieR moved on with a new intensity. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even a greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on the path, their journey had purpose. I guess the forest had accepted us, huh? Said NieR after a bit. Vice went around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of the forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. You have no idea where this path leads. As Vice finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, NieR picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Vice. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. I entered through. Oh, fuck, another riddle. Where's Kaine? Wait, where is she? Ow! Oh, I guess she stayed outside because of village. Enter through the window but break no glass. When night falls I vanish, what am I? Absurdly easy, barked Vice. Now answer it. NieR grit his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right after all, this one is pretty easy. Enter through the window but break no glass. When night falls I vanish, what am I? Sunlight. Sunlight. A plume of water suddenly burst. What is going on, dude? Is this like a play? Some Shakespearean shit? Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said wife softly, I have never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey, look, cried NieR, awakening Vice from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Vice saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Vice? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? NieR walked around and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began NieR. But before he could get any further, the cloaked man held up a hand and began speaking. Fuck. The riddle music. I have 4 legs in the afternoon and 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I? NieR tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing here, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage in this man's conversation, said Vice, it seems we must answer his riddle. Yeah, I suppose, said NieR. Well, at least it's an easy one. 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I? Demon. I guess it's the man riddle again. How many times is this riddle used in JRPGs? They're just everywhere. Hey man. The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. You're the mayor. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago I saw a version of you that was not yourself. Sorry? What's that mean? It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the death dream. Now you must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned his heel and slammed the door behind him. NieR watched mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When NieR and Vice returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy, he cried. You made it. You actually made it back. With his left hand grasped NieR's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket, while his right seized Vice by the cover and swung him through the air. Gah! By the heavens, stop shaking me, fool! We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I should ever see you again. NieR withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the death dream seal, he said. At least, I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as NieR filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the 3 of them laid down on the forest ground and fell asleep. NieR cocked his head. Okay, hang on a second. This is crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? Dacia and this Praton go to sleep, fool! Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. NieR and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Have you forgotten? Continued Vice. It is words that control the death dream, words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, the words tell us to sleep, and sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their guys growing heavy, their breath slowing. This is the first time, began the mayor. The first time I have felt tired since I was imprisoned here. And the words were cut up by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. He might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Holy shit. NieR shook the mayor's shoulder gently. Good news, he said. I think we made it. Oh wow, said the mayor in an odd voice. We did it. I'm back. He blinked at once, and then again, as if not quite believing the sight before him. You two have no idea how much this means. The death stream was spreading through our village, and I wanted to, well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and become trapped in my own dream. The mayor started to stand and then collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at NieR and shrugged. Not aware, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. Real life may take some getting used to. Oh, real life may take some getting used to, said the mayor with a bright smile across his lips. You shall relearn in short order, I am sure, said Vice. For now, you should return to your home and rest. Oh, said the mayor, swaying on unsteady feet. Oh, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the death stream. I have to save them. The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. This is a holy tree, he explained when the prayer was finished. It's the guardian of our village's history and memories. Superstition will only make our mission harder, muttered Vice. We should not put our faith in the gods. Damn gods. The mayor shook his head. Not the gods, the words. Legends say that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse. NieR and Vice could not contain their surprise. It seemed that gold has been found in the most unexpected of places. No, it's not a novel. This is I did not expect this to happen. What is going on? Jesus. It's an action game. It's an action hack and slash RPG. I have no idea what's happening. What? I say, muttered Vice, this is certainly a stroke of luck. As the three of them said their goodbyes, NieR mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he had left them with. I once saw a version of you that was not yourself, muttered the mayor. What in the world does that mean? Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. You know, he said softly, this is going to sound odd, but I had a feeling I had seen you before too. NieR tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. Deja vu! Right? Anyway, I figure it's just some kind of illusion created by the death dream. It probably doesn't mean anything. He gave the mayor a nod and smiled, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. Something wrong about the mayor and his words. What exactly is going on here? That riddle will prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, thank fuck, my voice.
Now I can finally return to a normal life.
Me too.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
I know. That's why we have to help the other villagers, no matter what.
Oh, I got a new move.
For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort.
Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me. It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
Don't overthink it, Vice.
My voice is tired. Yo, execution, that's a spear one, right?
Now I can finally return.
This is one of them.
I know.
That move is pretty cool. As cool as that prime sub from Yevon. 23 months. I should move that to the top of the screen. Go. Jeez, I'm saving, bro. I ain't reading that shit all over again. Learning at the Rita lol epic fail la 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 she. Thought it was gonna be in your sub? It should have been, I think. Whoa! Oh, you didn't do it right, you idiot. You fucked up. Stupid.
This person must be dreaming too.
It would appear that way, yes.
Can't say
Oh,
I'm very
fuck.
excited to go back there. That dream world sort of creeps me out.
Wait, no, I have to do it all.
Perhaps you should spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission.
Yeah.
I have to do that again? Ah. I breathe air scented with death and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it would sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh Prince of Hell air? My box, my prison, it's tucked beneath a stairway in the long-used catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that plays without end. Light has no place here. When is a forgotten friend? I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes, an eternity slips by in a single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Anyone there? I hear an unfamiliar voice say. My savior! I call at the door of my jail, bedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh. I sob. Surely this is a product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true. Help me, I cry. For the love of all gods, help! Impossibly, I hear the sound of a log being torn out and falling to the door. As the door slowly creaks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired boy in a floating book before the light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to blackness, exploded with pain, and I am forced to turn away. Who are you? I asked, shaking hands covering my face. How have you come to this place? I am Grimoire Voice, and this is NieR. Long have you been searching for you? Now come, stand! We shall awaken you from this nightmare together. One known as NieR extends his hand and pulls me from the cell. And my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato of sounds of heady rain. I never thought I'd hear again, I whisper. Would that this were not such a terrible storm? What? I guess my English is suck. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open to see water pooling where my ankles and lapping in my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and much more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make our escape, we shall all drown in this castle. We know you are weak, but you are our only hope to survive this place. Time, that long-forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers, no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like the endless entrails of a giant. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. What? Oh. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds resting on top a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter. It has been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch this piece of this mass, it turns into dust that drifts away in the wind. Realization slowly dawns, and I fall to my knees and weep. corpses. I faced a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I looked from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled these bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know, and sanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound, whether scream or laughter I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible of rooms. I squint down the dim corridors. Oh fuck, where's west? West coast, best coast. I guess we go south. I squint down the dim corridors and... fuck, what the? East? I swim down... west. But I just went east. And then I go back west? Okay, yeah. North. Wow. Okay, we went north, so I think we go north again. Yes. At the end of the path, the waters rise to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray that this is the way out. Eventually, I can stand the sight of the waters no longer, and so turn my eyes upward. Imagine my surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging from the faded plaster wall. Each depicts a person in the prime of life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people had lived long, long ago. One subject was an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It is constructed of a thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I am struck by desire to touch it with my own hands, yet as I extend a single finger to the painting, I am gripped by a most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and warp into shape of another finger. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another prisoner, a fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the portrait with my hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside I can just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. The poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie on the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait. I have been admiring a row of corpses, blocked from view by portraits of each victim at the pinnacle. Enough! Shielding my eyes, I paddle forward through the water. I squint down at the dim corridor and proceed south. The water has risen to my chin and now laps greedily in my mouth and nose. You dumb beast! Shouts NieR. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insult is cut short by the rising water. A glimmer of ice, wet and tattered, floats on the water's surface. It is already too late for him, he's dead. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. What? I actually died. Oh, fuck. What? Unbelievable. Wow. I did not expect that. I just died in that guy's dream? That's so lame. Fuck you. I'm coming back in there.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
After all that reading. North. East. And north. Wait, so north is me dying. So let's go west. At the end of the path, a row of heavy wooden casks lie on their sides in the dark chamber. Doubtless they are filled with wine. My thirst roars to life. I cannot remember the last time my parched throat had relief. Oh, I should have played the Dark Souls death sound. I scramble to the first cask and pull frantically at the cork. The theft of the few cups mean nothing, I tell myself. The cask will be ruined by the flood regardless. This guy's fiending for a drink while this castle is filling with water. It's flooding, you fool. Finally, the cork surrenders to my attack and thick red liquid bursts forth from the hole. This is no wine. It's blood from the body. Whether animal or something else, I cannot say. The foul liquid soon mixes with the rising floodwaters, creating a warmth that laps against my thighs. By all the gods! Are the rest of the casks filled with the blood as well? I lack the courage to confirm my suspicion. Disgust quickly becomes fear as I turn to flee, but my weakened legs betray me, sending me toppling over into the red ocean below. The smell of death is everywhere. It threatens to consume me. I must escape this hell. Crawling on all fours like an animal, holding back screams lest any foulness enter my mouth, I lurch forward and through the red waters and out of the room to freedom. Okay, I'm not dead. Go east. Squint at the dim corridors. What? No, the west is just backwards. South? North, south? Oh god. The water has risen to my chin and now lands greedily at my mouth and nose. Ah, I died! No! Oh. Curses. Am I missing something? Strength cup? So I'm gonna save before I die. That's a pretty good item.
This per-
It-
This-
It-
Yeah.
Fuck. Am I supposed to be paying attention to something? Instead of just trial and erroring this? Okay, now I went west, right? And I went north and it got owned. I went west and got owned. Let's go east. I found myself in a great hall with only the sounds of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet swishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table upon which rests china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. My eyes continue to adjust as I see many chairs surrounding the table, each holding a dinner guest. Noticing movement, I approach a chair at the table's head, but as the truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil in horror. The host of the feast is a corpse, as are all the invited guests. An army of foul, wriggling insects have made their home in the remains, and this is the movement I saw. This once splendid feast was now nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands, and slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, for the chairs proved to be even more terrible than the feast itself. Each one is covered in layers of spikes that run up from the seat, up to the back, and down the arms. To explain the color of the carpet between my feet, I can only pray that the unfortunate diners were dead when their meal began. For not if it was a simple task to envision the agonized screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasped frantically at the possibility that these souls had committed some terrible crime for which this was punished, though in truth I suspect they had committed no crime at all. There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. Against all hope, we make it to the front door! Break it down! Someone cried, so I gave myself to the effort. I tied them with NieR and grew more voice. I slammed my body against a thick, sturdy door on the third try gives, and we found ourselves sprawled on the ground outside the castle. The storm is in retreat. The clouds above is still dark and foreboding, but to the west I can see a shimmer of sunlight trying to break through. How can I thank you? I cried as tears joined the rain on my cheeks. I would surely have died there. Looking down, I suddenly noticed that my dress is in tatters, and she sheepishly tried to cover my exposed skin. Your dress? Yes, Wise. Then you are a woman, madam. I am. Oh, she's... Oh. Ah. I prefer the two as well. I suppose that comes from something as a surprise, seeing as how I exist only in the form of words. I can see that the one known as NieR is disappointed that the torn dress will be given no further description, but he hides it well. What? Hold up. With the nod instructed, the of us set forth to our awakening. But behind us, an awakening of another kind is taking space. Black smoke filled the abandoned castle, providing the countless damned souls inside their final shroud. After a moment, the castle's windows shattered with a mighty roar. Fresh breeze blows through the hallways and corridors, clearing the smoke away for good. As we watch, an uncountable black shadows slowly flicker to life, crossing to and fro in front of the broken windows. The castle's dead have awakened to the new life as shades. What the hell? What happened to the hood?
You have anything to say about that?
Hopefully there will be no labyrinth next time.
I hear that.
Fuck your dream, lady.
Thank
died.
you so much for saving me. I never want to have a dream like that again.
I get no reward.
Thank you so
Maybe I get something for saving. Oh god, one more.
And another victim. This work certainly is trying.
I figured a book like you would be
Oh,
into
I didn't
all this
save.
word stuff, Vice.
Oh, at least I know the answer to the other one, though.
Even I have my exceptions. Now let's be off.
Abort. Damn it. Okay. A colony of massive sculptures was visible in the distance, the tall forms scraping against the sky. Vice and NieR had never seen such a sight, and their eyes widen as they take
Those
it in.
buildings must be huge if we can see them from this far away.
Oh, finally, a voice?
What do you think, Vice?
As Vice considered his answer, the sun beat down on them with renewed ferocity.
Perhaps they are some manner of mirage.
He said. Oh, what? He lost his voice. Under this heat, a mirage or two would hardly be an unexpected sight. NieR nodded and wiped the sweat off his brow, leaving a trail of sand in his place. He thought he'd never been so thirsty. The ancient road on which they walked was black and cracked with age. Here and there, thin wisps of grass pushed up through the rocky surface, as if defying those who had laid this material down over their home. The heat reflecting the road made NieR light-headed. His feet hurting, he crouched on to rest. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Is someone playing a joke on us or what? The complaining had already begun. Vice tried not to let his eyes roll so much. A joke? He said. No joke. This road leads to the city of art. Perhaps the path itself is simply some matter of grand artistic work. You don't sound very sure of yourself there. Perhaps not, but thinking of it in this way might make it easier for you to bear. NieR crossed out Vice's grinning face, shook his head, and resumed walking. As time passed, NieR's feet grew more painful and his throat drier than he thought possible. He tried not to look further than the next step ahead, but because the bright sunlight made him hesitant to trust his own senses. We are definitely getting closer, said Vice in an effort to cheer his companion. Yes, this is much certain. This much is certain. Encouraged, NieR lifted his gaze. Suddenly, he stopped walking, choosing instead to stand in the middle of the road with his mouth and eyes wide open and his finger pointing in the distance. Water! He cried. It's water! Water? asked the Vice. Preposterous! I don't see any water. Over there, just ahead of us. Look, the sun is reflecting off it. Without waiting for a response, NieR sprang to life and bounded toward the site. What in the... There was no water. There was nothing but sand in every direction. NieR closed his eyes and sighed as Vice floated up behind him and chuckled softly. I believe this is known as a mirage, he said. Many a desert traveler has spoken of such things. NieR shook his head bewildered. Suddenly he pointed off in the distance, his eyes wide once more. Wait, there it is. I just missed it. Look, it's right there. You have to believe me. NieR sprinted off again, leaving Vice with no choice but to follow. After a few minutes of running, NieR came to a halt. I could have sworn it was right around here. Confused, he put his hand up to his eyes and rubbed them vigorously. As soon as he stopped, he noticed a blue, shimmering, clear pool of water just over the next rise. Surely this time it's a real pool of water. Without a shout, he bounded off in search of it. The chase continued for nearly an hour until an exasperated Vice finally floated up to NieR and struck him in the face with his cover. Enough, you blithering idiot! Stop this at once! There is no water here! NieR's face clouded. There isn't? There's not! And perhaps next time you will listen to me when I tell you as much. Vice paused for a moment and then continued speaking in a slightly kinder tone. However, I suppose this mad chase was not altogether wasted. It seems we have arrived in the city of art. NieR looked up. Stretched up before him was a row of impossibly tall sculptures. The journey was at an end. They're huge, cried NieR, completely forgetting the heat and pain of the past few hours. I've never seen anything so big. Each sculpture was formed from roughly the same shape. Tall rectangle that stretched up toward the sky, but there was no... that is where the similarities ended. Each sculpture was formed from roughly the same shape, a tall rectangle that stretched toward the sky, but that is where the similarities ended. Most were covered with panes of glass that reflected light in thousands of directions, while others seemed to be nothing but frames of steel. Some had tall spires on the tops, while others possessed triangular caps. What kind of city is this? Said NieR. Where are the people? Where are the houses? Perhaps the land is intended exclusively for artistic use. The debate continued as they made their way through the city. Why is it playing Kanye's Salvation? Or is it... the Salvation Kind, or whatever, you know, the song. America's market were everywhere. Wooden crates with wheels set solidly on steel rails. Beautifully carved works with lights of red, amber, and green dangled over every street. As they moved away from the massive sculptures, they found a great array of smaller ones. Some were covered in glass or brick, but many were composed of materials that had never been encountered. The sheer variety of colors and styles was staggering. Unable to find the theme or purpose to the abstract works around them, NieR and Vice eventually fell silent. On the outskirts of the city, they discovered 3 sculptures in the shape of humans. NieR uttered a sigh of relief as he approached them. Finally, I was getting tired of modern art. The 3 statues were indistinguishable except for the single word chiseled into their right arm. One read Alpha, one read Beta, and the final one read Gamma! As NieR moved to touch near a statue, a bird flew from the top of one of the sculptures. Alighting on the statue's shoulder, it emitted a brief, beautiful song that took the form of words. Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false one will only speak lies. Oh, it's this one again. That the bird departed as if on cue, 3 statues shuddered to life, acquiring color and form that these. Hey, look at that, they're alive. Triplets bowed low before NieR. Please, you have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real. Stop lying, said Beta. He turned to NieR and threw his hands into the air. Alpha's a fake, you know. I'm the real one. What a load of crap, said Gamma. Beta is a fake. Everyone knows I am only the real one around here. The respective pleas given, the three statues returned to their frozen state as silence once again enveloped the city. When you consider all the statements, only one of them could be the real thing. NieR furrowed his eyebrows and considered the answer. Only one form is real, the others are false. The real one will speak the truth, the false ones will only speak lies. But this riddle's used a lot too. Or like this like format. Okay, let me think. So Alpha says he's the real, Beta says Alpha's lying. And Gamma says Beta is lying. So two of them are lying. So if Gamma's lying... Okay, if Alpha's lying, then whatever, right? Then he's lying. If Alpha's lying, then Beta's telling the truth. Which means Gamma's lying. Does Gamma lying make sense? Yes, right? So it's Beta? Gamma says Beta is fake, which is a lie if we assume Beta is telling the truth. If we assume Gamma is telling the truth, then wait, I'm an idiot. Okay, it's been a while since I had to think like this. Gamma is telling the truth. Beta is lying. But if Beta is lying, then Alpha's telling the truth. Yeah, it's a Beta, right? The real one is Beta. Though NieR's voice betrayed a notable lack of confidence, it was a relief to see Voice nodding at him. If Alpha were telling the truth, began Voice in the dry tones of a lecturer, Beta and Gamma would be fakes. But in that case, Gamma's claim that Beta is a fake would be the truth, even though Gamma is a liar. Therefore, that theory crumbles. Now let us presume that Gamma spoke the truth. That makes Alpha and Beta liars. In this situation, however, Beta is coming... Okay, yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I said. Finally, let us assume that Beta is telling the truth. If so, Alpha and Gamma's lies would make sense. Therefore, Beta must be real. As the Vice finished his explanation, Alpha and Gamma crumbled soundlessly to dust, while Beta sprang to life once more. Congratulations, villager! Oh, wait. Congratulations, villager, said Vice in a cheerful voice. The time to awaken has arrived. Thank you for saving me, cried the villager. He dropped to his knees and bowed his head as low as he could go before an uncomfortable NieR pulled him to his feet. Oh, what happens if I pick the other ones then? Did he die? Do I die? Like, just... Why did you have a dream like this? Asked Vice. Have you been to this city before? The villager slowly looked around at bizarre objects and sculptures that dotted the landscape and then shook his head. I don't think so. I mean, it's impossible, right? There's no way I could have been here. Never been to a place like this, but at the same time, I feel like I've seen it before. Deja vu! Muttered NieR. Just like the mayor. A vague sense of unease that struck NieR during the mayor's dream spread once more through his mind. Okay.
That was rough.
That was way easy. That was easy.
I am positive I have seen that place before.
Okay, that's enough. Don't need you getting all weird on me too. Okay, there. Now all the villagers can wake up, right?
Yes, if the mayor's assumption was correct. I think I have had enough wordplay to last a lifetime. Thank you very much.
You're telling me.
Same.
Anyway, let's go see the mayor.
I thought I was a goner there. Thanks for the help. What a strange dream. It almost felt familiar somehow.
Should I recognize that description? That dream?
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you so much. Here, I have something for you.
1 million Oh, one-handed sword faith.
Wow, this looks valuable. I can really have it?
Of course. It's apparently a weapon of some renown. We have little use for it.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you again for everything.
Oh, katana. It's all rusty. Right. There's a story to all of them. That's right, this here's the weapon that'll be ending your life. Oh, don't sweat it, okay. Looks like a hook covered in rocks. Alright, more story per level. Okay, I'm not gonna read those, unless you guys want me to. I'm starting a boot sequence. Mission complete. Yeah, what are the stats on it? I mean, if we're not gonna take the weight into account, then it's just straight up worse. A lot of, yeah, the beast bane seems like the most rounded, at least from the swords. I don't know. There are different
So
weapons.
how was the village?
Oh, it was truly magnificent. There are no words, really.
Neat.
Let's get back to Popola. She'll probably want to know what's going on in there.
I ain't fighting.